Alrighty. Can you see me okay? Can you hear me alright? Put it into the chat and let me know. We are a couple of minutes on, not really a couple of minutes, but we're here to trade the ECB rates decision. Just wanted to show Jimmy this. Hey Jimmy, how you doing? So you can see that. Where is it? I had a bit of a laugh when I picked out this can of Coke. So, Coke's on Jimmy. Um, so yes, hey Diana, how you doing? Hope you are well. Back again. Um, if you're not sick of seeing and hearing my voice by now, well done. Achievement unlocked. Hey Jimmy, how you doing? Hope you're all doing great. I mean, it's been. Where's my mouse? I lost my mouse again. Oh man, where's my mouse? Hang on. Okay, there it is. Yeah, I hope you've all been doing well. It was just a couple of hours ago when we last spoke. So okay, sounds good. Sounds working. Okay, yeah. So it's only been a couple of hours since we last spoke, so I'm pretty sure you're doing great. Hey Lingopedia, how are you doing? Long time no see. Welcome back to the session. Good to have you with us. I have about 20 minutes to the um, rates decision from the ECB at 8:15. Like we were talking about this afternoon, at first I was quite keen on it, um, that a rate cut decision from the ECB might bring about some little bit of volatility, a little bit more volatility, some craziness. But judging from what we saw the last time round, it didn't really do that much. So I'm not keeping my hopes that high. Um, um, if this happens to be a bit of a non-event, so be it. Just another good session to catch up with everyone again and again and again. Um, so yes, you can help me out massively, remembering to click on that thumbs up button, there, the like and subscribe basically, if you haven't already. And because it is streaming live, I haven't clarified this, but I think that the more chat, the more interactions we have, the more likely we're gonna get recommended to everyone else. So you can help me out massively. Just keep smashing away on the keyboard, on the chat function there. Um, and if you're new to the session, do drop a message and say hi. Let us know where you're joining us from. We've got a whole very friendly bunch of people here tonight. So have no worries, have no fear. Okay. So we were just talking about gold just then, as gold shot up. I just got fried chicken delivered, but no, later. So I just got fried chicken delivered. Living the life. Fried chicken and trading. Imagine that. There'll be a new style of streaming. Having fried chicken while we do a live stream. What's it called? The Korean eating live stream. Can't remember. Okay. Anyway, back to it. We were just talking before I jumped on about gold. Gold having shot up. This afternoon, when we were looking at it, it was sitting just there. So we were saying, hey, might push up, needs to break above that short-term upside, but decision point at 33.90. So it popped up, came to about 3,400, just under 3,400, coming back in. So it's testing that 33.90 level with a bit of indecision right now, right? Because if it holds, it could push right through, but if it comes right back in, it could drop straight through as well. So that's going to be, I kind of want to see it drop back down. um, might make it a little bit more interesting. The dollar index is still sitting there as we were talking about. Might see a small drop, but it's at that little bit of indecision point. Try and clear out some arrows so that I can see things a little bit easier, a little bit better. Okay. 2 minutes to 8 o'clock. 2 minutes to 8 o'clock. The news is at 8:15. After the news at 8:15, we'll have a look at after the number at 8:15, which is expected to go from a 2.4 to 2.15, a 25 basis point rate cut expected. Pretty much priced in, I would say. Well, not priced in, pretty much like well expected. Because if I say it's priced in, then you would expect the euro dollar to be pushing down, right? So it's pretty much well expected. The idea would be to pay some attention to the monetary policy statement. I used to love listening to the press conference because back when it was Mario Draghi, he was the best, right? I would smash out hundreds of pips while he was talking during the press conference. Not so much now. President Lagarde seems to be a lot more stable. The press conferences are not bringing as much volatility as previous presidents of the ECB, unfortunately. And I can't stream the press conference on this stream here because the last time I did that, I got flagged for copyright infringements from YouTube. Don't want to do that because that kind of gets my account into jeopardy. So we're not going to do that. So we might have a look at this, or we will have a look at this. If it gets interesting, we'll carry on and I'll do a commentary on that. If this rate decision doesn't lead to too much, then it might be a short and sharp session for today. Just a big reminder as well, if you are new to the session, drop a like and subscribe because tomorrow we are also going to be going through the non-farm employment change, the US employment data. So look forward to that. That is going to be at 8 p.m. as well because the release is at 8:30. All right, 8:30 p.m. GMT plus 8, so 8 p.m. GMT plus 8. Work it back to your time zone. If you're in Dubai, that's 4 p.m. That's the one I know. If you're in Africa, it is 2 p.m. By the way, quick shout out. Anyone in South Africa at the moment? Any of my viewers from South Africa? Put it into the chat. Let me know. Yeah, would love to find out. Okay, so we do have our session tomorrow as well. Looking forward to that. Now, 8:01 p.m. The euro dollar is pushing slightly to the upside. I'm kind of expecting it to push up to that resistance today. To have pushed up to the resistance today, doesn't seem like you'll get there in the next 15 minutes. But then bounce around, maybe pop up a little bit before pushing back down. So if I were to just adjust that, it might look something like this. It might look something like this. And maybe this is tomorrow's session. Tomorrow's non-farm, maybe we'll see it pull right back down again. Right, dollar index on the new hour is still looking. Okay, now just looking at a Bloomberg pop-up that just came up. So dollar index is still looking to push to the downside. Not confirmed yet, not fully decided, but still looking to push to the downside. In the best case, it just comes down here and it sits around this level. That would do it for me until tomorrow. All right. I can't remember if I said this already or not, but hey John, how are you doing? Good to see you on the session. John is our newest member on the Elite Navigator. Again, if you want to join, I do this live stream. You can see the summary that I do this live stream every day at 3 p.m. GMT plus 8. So if you want to get access to that live stream and a whole bunch of indicators that I have on TradingView, click that little join button there. Yeah, just near my name, near my profile picture. Click join and be an elite navigator. I think it's only like I think it's only like $9 a month or something like that. So you get your daily live streams, pretty much daily. It's not all. Sometimes when I travel and all that, we don't do live streams, but pretty much all the time. Okay, 803 right now. Euro dollar still sitting there. So this is the TSRI MACD that I have. It's sitting there. Right, so in the lead up to that news, just a quick recap is there, okay? The last time, this was on the 17th of April, where we had the ECB cut rates. John, I think I'm pretty sure you messaged me on, you messaged on TradingView, or you messaged on YouTube. You left a comment on the YouTube post, and I've given you the access to it. I'm pretty sure. If not, drop me a message. I'll make sure that happens. Okay. I'm pretty sure it was you. All right. Yeah. Drop me a message if you haven't got it already. Let me know. Yeah. So go to TradingView. Let me see. You go to TradingView. You click on indicators. You would see that, or you go to invite only, and then you'll see the ones that are sent to you, something like that. Okay, cool. What was I going to say? Oh, rates decision from the ECB. They cut rates. They cut rates from 2.65 to 2.4 on the 17th of April. And this is what happened. This was on the 17th of, zoom in a bit. This was on the 17th of April. This was on the rate, exactly at the rates decision hour. It shot down, it bounced back up. I'll put one beside just so that you can see. It shot down, it bounced back up, it did a whole bunch of nothing and sat in a doji. Didn't do anything. The next hour, 9 o'clock, it shot up, it came back down, and it sat there in a bit of a spinning top, or one of those. Next hour at 10 o'clock, it shot up, it shot down, and sat there again. 11 o'clock, shot up, shot down, sat there again. And basically it sat in a range. Since 8 o'clock, 9, 10, 11, 12, the next 4 hours is set in a widest range of a 50 pip. If that happens tonight, we're going to end very quickly. I'm not ruling that out as well, right? Because a 50 pip range, and you guys know I'm a little bit under, so if I'm sniffing and snorting a bit, that's about a 50 pip range, which wouldn't be impossible that the euro dollar stays within that range tonight on release of that news. All right, the dollar index as well is not presenting much of a directional bias. Right, it's popped down, it's trying to push back up a little bit. It's narrowing on the TSR MACD. Maybe it will pop up and then back down again, but we're going to see what happens. This afternoon, we were saying that in this whole area here is a big question mark on where is it really going. The decision point is really at this orangey pale color box, or at the 99 level, so it needs to stay below 99. These are the two levels that comes to that decision point. Okay. Let me know if it makes sense to you, if it makes sense. 7 minutes away to the news. 7 minutes away to 6 minutes. Well, 6 minutes and 50 seconds away to the news. What is gold doing? I open one more tab actually. Just open one more. Oh no, wait. I did the wrong thing. Do that. I've got banned on a couple of things. Do that and that. Gold is trying to push up. Gold is still trying to push up. Looking for that level up there. Right? Okay. Okay, cool. My euro dollar is still sitting there, so I've got all that. Euro dollar, gold trying to push up. CAD, my Ludi is still sitting there. Does have a bit of a bounce and reject and push down kind of anticipation. Swizzy not doing too much. Pound yen climbing back up. Maybe it won't make it all the way back. It might push down from here. But the focus today is still on the euro. Euro yen is trying to push up. It looks like it might be dragged down together with the US yen. I wanted this a little bit higher before I could trade it down. The pound dollar, we have been waiting, and it looks like the wait will continue because it's sitting right across, forming a little bit of a double top. Maybe we'll see that kind of play out. Then on the Aussie, what I'm seeing here right now, actually scrolling through everything, getting a overall view, is that apart from the yen and gold, which are indicating that maybe dollar might weaken, everything else seems to be showing that we might see a bit of a recovery in strength on the dollar index. That's kind of what I'm seeing by clicking through all the charts, and what we're seeing on the dollar index as well as it's pushing back up. So again, that 99 area is, these are the two decision points that we're watching out for. In the middle here, not keen on any, it's not showing any directional bias. Make sense? All good? Let me know. Remember, a lot of you are watching. Do remember to click that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you do that. When Hans Schmidt is asking, when is the ECB? It is in 4 minutes. It is in 3 minutes and 15 seconds and counting down. A rate cut of 25 basis point is expected. Thanks for that, Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy. A rate cut of 25 basis points is expected. A volatility on the euro is a little bit more uncertain. You're saying that the DAX has jumped up. I kind of like looking at this one. Which might see the euro pull back down a little bit. Which might see, I don't think it's jumped up Yeah, I think an all-time high is already on the way. I don't think we'll see. I think it might stay within that range. I think it might stay within that range. But I know what you mean. I can see what you are looking at because that's trying to push up. It needs to. We've got 2 minutes to the news. Needs to break past that to form that all-time high, which I don't think is impossible. If that does push up, that's going to possibly show a little bit of a downside move. 38.2, and I might just come down to this point. Yeah, it's getting there. It's not that far. Oh yeah, actually that tail there. It's not that far away. Actually, I got 1 minute more. I'm actually looking at this. I'm actually thinking more instead of that kind of move. Oh wait, what am I doing? Instead of that kind of move, I'm kind of thinking a bit like that kind of move down. But I want to see what happens here first, which is coming out. I don't think, I might be horribly wrong. I don't think the number is going to do too much to the pricing. Okay. I don't think the number is going to do too much to pricing. Okay, so it's pushing up a little bit. So that was the initial thought, right? That was the initial thought where we'll see it test the. So basically bounce around here, and then come back down. I've got too many lines here already, but the idea is that it's going to bounce around in this area. I kind of want to see it test a little bit higher before coming back in. I think if it does come back down from here, it's not going to have much strength. It is pulling back in 2.15 as expected. Policy statement. We'll wait for the policy statement. Dollar index climbing up slightly. This euro dollar is holding. 38.2 kind of coincides at this point. So it still hasn't broken lower yet. As much as it shows a bit of that red candle, it still hasn't broken lower yet. And it's pretty much doing what it did on. Oh, I got too excited. I started kicking everything. It's pretty much doing everything it was going to do or was doing. No, it's doing everything it did on the 17th of April. Too excited. I was tongue-tied, right? So we talked about this, where on the 17th it did that, right? That hour it shot down, it shot back, it climbed back up, and it sat right in the middle at the end of the hour. It looks like that's on track to happen. It shot up a little bit, it came back down, and it's just sitting right there, not doing too much. The DAX is seemingly on its way. The DAX is seemingly on its way, but it can't. Oh, that was a long time ago. Keep pushing up. That is an all-time high. It would be a new all-time high. If it does push higher, I would say that maybe I can't imagine that it would. I don't think it's in the characteristics for it to shoot up that much to 24,653 that quickly, right? So I don't think that. I think maybe 24,500 might be a level to start considering. I don't have any trade on this at the moment. It's just sitting there. Just wanted to let you know that for those of you who are on the session this afternoon, right? I held on to the what's that called, CAD, and it's pushed down. So I've just got to break even. I'm just letting it run. Totally forget about it and let it run. Let's see what happens. Statement. That's what I wanted. Okay. What tool did I just use for the Fibonacci? I think you're talking about this one. I think you're talking about this one, the trend-based Fib extension, the Fibonacci extension. I think you're talking about that one. Sorry, I'm getting messages in a bit of a lag, so casting my mind back to what I clicked on before. All right, so let's have a look at the statement. Decided to lower the 3 rates by 25. Yes, we know that. Thank you for telling us. Lower deposit rates. Yes, yes, yes. Inflation is currently at around the governing council's 2% medium target range. Good, you're hitting your targets. We know that. Headline inflation is set to average at 2 in 2025, 1.6 in 2026, and 2 in 2027. Quite interesting. Quite interesting that they expect it to be around that level, given that they're kind of not too bothered, don't seem to be too bothered about tariffs. Let's see whether they mention that later on. The downward revision, lower assumptions for energy prices and a stronger euro, yes. GDP growth, yes. When uncertainty surrounding trade policies is expected to weigh on investments and exports, especially in the short term. Rising investments in defense and increased support growth. Real income and robust labor markets. Okay. All right. It's quite a, in my view, it's quite a good statement from the ECB. Given that they're like, hey, we're going to hit our targets at 2%. We might even do better at 1.6 in 2026, and we'll come back up to 2 in 2027. We're not too bothered about the Trump tariff tantrums, because governments are going to spend on. I lost it. Governments are going to spend on defense and infrastructure. They need defense and infrastructure to support growth in the medium term. Doesn't matter about trade. We'll have our fiscal policies internally to support the markets. So inflation will settle around 2% target. Yeah, we talked about that. Wage growth is elevated. That's fine. Okay. APP and PEPP. Oh, I feel like I'm doing a press conference, taking her place. I should. A spokesperson. Not really. Just kidding. APP and PEPP portfolios are declining and measured. Yeah, we know that. That's no big surprise. Okay. Decide rates on the. All right. Okay. So what it looks like from this, the good thing. The good thing, as I said, they're hitting the targets at 2, 1.6, and 2 in 2027. So they're not too worried about any crazy inflationary growth due to tariffs, because they say as much as we're going to be weighed on it, trade policy is going to weigh on investment and exports. We're going to support it with spending on defense and infrastructure. Plays out. And then also you don't see that line. I might have missed it, but you don't see that line. Okay. You don't see a line that they say, hey, we might cut rates further if required, depending on the data, which is quite good, which might seem quite bullish. So I feel like this is quite a bullish statement. It's a bearish decision to cut rates, is a bullish statement, and somewhat of a bullish projection that they're not going to, that they haven't kind of factored in a future rate cut, which is also like what this one was saying. ECB to cut rates again while bets built for summer pause. So they might just go, yep, 2.15 is good enough. We'll keep it at that point for now. Right, so DAX is still creeping, climbing, holding at that point. Yeah, okay, that's fine. We know that one already. The euro dollar is doing exactly as we had expected. If you looked at this on a smaller time frame, could you have traded this? The only time you would have made money on this, I believe, is if you entered a trade before the news. Right there. If you entered a trade before the news, and you had that kind of 5-10 pip kind of move, that's not trading, that's gambling. All right. Do I do that? Yes, sometimes when I get bored and I just want to take a punt, and I've got my profit margins to play with. Not all the time, not worth the risk, not worth the loss. So it's just sitting there right now. So my initial thought and plan was that it'll push up, maybe to about that point. It'll come back in. It might test a little bit. Ideally, by tomorrow's non-farm payrolls, we might see it test and then break. Ooh, wait, what am I doing? And then break down. Then that would also form, by the stroke of luck, it also forms that nice head and shoulder pattern where it crash, breaks, and it comes right back down again. So this would be at the non-farm, maybe the non-farm kind of setup for tomorrow at that point. This is for now. I kind of want to see it test a little bit higher first. Still not a trade that I would want to get into at this point. Euro dollar index is pushing down. So if we look at all the other pairs, gold should be pushing up. This might be a early insight that maybe you're going to look into potential upside on gold, considering the dollar is pushing down. Inverse relationship should see gold push up. The dollar is pushing down also because the euro dollar is or has been climbing. Right, the loonie is pushing lower. I want to see it break this level. I'll be happy to see it break this level and then hit lower. If you haven't already, that's kind of a trade to look out for. 1.3650, 20 to 40 to the downside. Sweezy, I'm never keen on a Sweezy, but it's there with the downside driven down by weakness on the dollar index. Wait, hang on. Okay, maybe we might not have to wait that much more for pound. Pound dollar is something that could, right, if the dollar continues to push to the downside, we might be looking at a pound dollar pushing higher. And just do that for our friends on Discord. Um, if you know anyone else on Discord, they should. Why they're not on the session? They should be on the session. Um, in fact, Robbie was just sending a message on Discord. I saw his message somewhere. Can't remember now. Wait. Where am I? Okay. I try to do too many things at one time, so you just have to bear with me. That's out to our Discord members. John saying, "Do I trade indices?" I don't. I don't really trade indices. I kind of buy and hold. I just buy and hold for the short, medium term, or more medium term kind of setups. So I stack and I buy and hold. I don't actively trade it. So what I do is I actively trade in FX, in gold, in sometimes a little bit of crypto as well. Um, so active intraday trading, short term trade intraday, couple of days swing trades. I do on FX, crypto, and gold. Indices I buy in and hold for like 3 6 months, kind of even a year, kind of time frame, 9 months in a year, kind of time frames, and rebalance if I need to, or stack more if I need to, or if I want to. And then also, a lot of you would know I also do get into properties for the super long term. So that's how I kind of spread across the multiple asset classes. That's why I don't really talk. Like I look at indices, I don't talk too much about it in the short term. It's just too many things to think about when you look at it in the short term. I just look at it in the slightly longer term view. Yeah, it's a bit of a buy and forget kind. Euro dollar is pushing up very nicely. What's happening? Why is the euro dollar spiking up? If it spikes up, it's kind of playing to what I'm expecting. I wouldn't worry about that too much, but it's kind of spiking up a little bit too quickly, to the point that it's outside of the Bollinger Band, which would lead to a even faster retrace, which is what this is doing right now. So, spike up outside the Bollinger Band is going to have a double time retrace back down again. That's kind of what we're seeing there on the euro dollar. Okay, I've got 2 euro dollar charts. US yen is pushing down. I'm a bit annoyed there. I was hoping that it came up to test 50 before we see that push. Dollar is breaking lower. Remember, it's not ready yet. Right? Yes, you can do your short-term trades on the euro. I'm still watching that gray area, that area there. But the dollar, as much as this looks exciting, and it looks like, oh, I have to rush in to get into that trade, it's not ready yet. It's in that box. It's in that box which kind of says it could bounce from here. It could do anything from here. So I want to say break that box first, which at this point doesn't seem unlikely. I don't do futures. Just never got around to putting my head around it. Why? I don't know. I just got lazy. Got lazy to keep adding on stuff. Options. I learned it from very early on. I learned options from back in uni, and basically my uni lecturers and all that, and coaches and all that would say, like, if you can't do plain vanilla, if you can't do indices, and if you can't do plain vanilla stocks, you shouldn't be touching options with a 10-foot pole. And that kind of stuck with me. I know there are a lot of courses and people and stuff out there that says, oh, options are so easy to do and this and that. But that kind of stuck with me from the early days where they say, hey, if you can't do indices, don't do options. If you can't do plain vanilla stocks, don't do options. So haven't done options. Just been sticking with the easy stuff. That's kind of what I do. I try and not get it complicated. Keep it easy, keep it simple. Um, Even the way I trade, you guys who have been following me probably, I don't want to know the names of half the things I do. I just go, yeah, that looks like it's breaking that, and then it's gonna head down to here. No particular focus on the names and all that. I ramble. I ramble on. That's out. That's gonna come back in. Hey, it looks like my head and shoulder might actually play out. Dollar index is pushing down. Now, actually, look at the pound dollar. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. I've posted this on Discord. Just a bit of a reminder to myself as well. 1.3610, 35 pip stop, 100 pip take. Hey, disclaimer applies, please, please, please. Okay, Kiwi has that. Kiwi actually might come in interesting as well. The only thing about Kiwi is that because we are testing levels that we haven't seen, and it's breaking at 61.8 firstly, and we're testing levels we haven't seen since November last year. So I'm kind of anticipating a break, a retrace, and a break again. Maybe something to look out for later on. If we miss that, we miss that. I think we've got a lot of opportunities coming up. Aussie dollar, let it climb towards the resistance. Dinah, did you end up trading the Aussie up? Do let me know. We were talking about whether it's worth trading from 6510 up to 6540. 30 pip move, but I would have done it last time. Now I'm going for a bit of a fuss-free kind of method, so I'll rather wait for it to hit resistance, reject, possibly reject, and then turn back down. Pound we spoke about to death already. Euro dollar is slowly there. Yen, the Japanese yen would have been good if it climbed up a little bit more, even not even all the way up, even if it just got up to 143.50, just touch and reject, I would have got into this trade, but it just sat there and it's popped right down, so that's kind of wiped out the idea for this trade, which I should just take away if it's going to wipe out the idea for this trade. Okay, Euro yen didn't close above, so that's a good thing because maybe you would have got into it. With the yen dragging down, you wouldn't have. That's kind of wiped out idea for this trade as well. But that brings about another idea that if this pushes down, we might see that it's conflicting though. It's conflicting with the euro dollar pushing up. Euro yen US yen dragging down. So all in all, the euro yen is going to have the euro dollar trying to prop it up, the yen trying to push it down. It's undecided, but the way I look at this here, we might see it push back down. If you are ready to take the risk, 163.40, you got a 30 to 30 pip stop loss, 30 pip take profit to the downside. You could narrow this down to 20 and stretch this out to 40 if you really wanted to. That would be a setup. Not the best because I feel it's right in the middle, but thinking of that, maybe something to think about. I think there's a lot of other opportunities. Only did gold today. Nice. Pound yen didn't go high enough. Take that away. Pound dollar is climbing, but it's not doing enough to drag the pound yen up. It's being held down a little bit by the US yen. Then onto the Sweezy. Down. Yeah, you're gonna wait for that. I don't like the Sweezy. Gonna wait for that. CAD breakdown. Good. Gold still sitting there, still being undecided. That's the area to watch out for. We don't need this anymore. We got that. Okay. Dollar popped right down, went out of the Bollinger, didn't like it, coming back in. It's still early in the night, still early in the day. It's gonna sit there and maybe push back down. The one fam member, how are you doing? Good to have you with us. Welcome to the stream. Do remember to click like and subscribe if you haven't already. He's got a question of what kind of impact do you think will the 50% tariffs on the euro, on the EU, have on the euro dollar? Actually, I don't think that much. I don't think it would have that much an impact on the euro dollar. Firstly, because of what they said um, in the statement just then, right? Where here, uncertainty surrounding trade policies is expected to weigh on business investments and exports, especially in the short term. But rising government investment in defense and infrastructure will increasingly support growth for the medium term. So I don't think it's going to do too much in particular. And while we're just thinking of that, let me just do something and have a quick look. Oh, it looks like I've looked at the Chinese yuan from a long time ago before. Okay. So if you look at this, yeah, right here. This was why is it so light? Hang on. There we go. Is that a little bit better? Okay. This was, well, that was, where am I? Oh, I'm on the 4 hour, okay. So that's Liberation Day. That's post-Liberation Day, right? Chinese, US against the Chinese. Given, I mean, I'm using the Chinese yuan as an example, given that they bore one of the biggest brunt of the tariffs against the US, and they sat there and it just pushed up from 7.27, pretty much 7.27 up to 7.3, came up a little bit more, and then with the pause and the negotiations and all that, it came back down. And in the scheme of things, it just seems like a bit of a small blip on the overall volatility. Right? They've gone through bigger jumps as well. And then go back to gold on that. And then on to the euro that's sitting there. Same thing on the, where am I? Hey Angel Case, hey, how are you doing? Good to see you on the session. Welcome. Slightly late, but better late than never. There we go. So that's Liberation Day. We see that being pushed up and then came back in. And then we did lose some ground. Oh no, actually we gained ground against the dollar before it came back in again. And then it says overall push back up. Oh, this has been trending. right? So it had a bit of a blip, and then it just continued with its trending scenario, or the previous trend, the pre-existing or previous trend. So no big surprise there. So I don't think it's going to do too much. In terms of the currency, I don't think it's going to do too much. In terms of overall net economic benefit or net economic well-being, I think it doesn't look flash. I think that we might see it. I think a slowdown is definitely on the cards, but if they're going to spend and support in a different way or in different avenue, I think that could work out as well. I hope that answers your question there. The one fam member. Hope it kind of makes sense. My rambles. Again, entirely my point of view. I don't think it's gonna do too much, but let's see. Let's see how it plays out. It came up. It got negotiated or put on hold. It got negotiated. Negotiations didn't go through. It got put up again, and then now it's on a pause again. So it's on and off. I think at some point, people are going to get immune to it, a bit sick of it and immune to it. Let me know if that aligns with your thoughts, and for everyone else as well. Let me know if that aligns with your thoughts. No, press conference is coming up. I can't click on that because I'm going to get flagged. Actually, I can. Hang on, let me try to do that. I can put it here. Ah, okay. I think that makes sense. Okay. But I'm tempted. I mean, I've been rambling on for about 45 minutes already. Have I? Yeah. Well, I've been rambling on for about an hour already. So I might not be able to ramble on for that much more. Getting a bit drained. I don't, and President Christine Lagarde, I don't think she doesn't surprise markets that much. I mean, if this was Mario Draghi, man, I wouldn't have done the live stream. If this was Mario Draghi, I would have done the live stream. I would have just sat here on my own, scalping away. They're walking in right now. They're getting ready. I need to turn on my sound. I hear a little bit of background music. I'm just. Is it from me or is it from the? Um, Here, I need to mute myself here. Yeah, I hear a bit of background music. Is it from me or is it from the ECB press conference? Let me know. Let me know. Thanks for that, one fan member. Greetings from Germany. Welcome. Good to see you from Germany. We're going global. We've got everyone from all around, reaches from all around the world. I think we give the dollar the strength it needs to finally bring back the US. I think that dollar, see, the thing is that dollar strength didn't come immediately on announcement of the tariff as well. So I think the dollar strength is not going to be immediate, and I don't think it'll be driven because of the tariff. I think that dollar strength is likely to be driven because of the deal making that Trump is doing, dragging in funds and investments into the US. Did you see how he talked to the guy from SoftBank? The guy was like, "Oh, I agree." Hang on, this is a bit loud. So the guy was like, "Oh, we agreed to." I can't remember what's his name. The guy from SoftBank, the boss and owner and all that. He's like, "Oh, we agreed to invest 100 million," and Trump says, "Yeah, if you can do 100, you can do 200." And the guy was like, we'll start with 100 and we'll try. We'll try. I'll try my best to see whether we can get to 200." Imagine 100 or 200 million, billion. I can't remember million or $1 billion. I'm thinking $1 million coming into the U.S. is going to cause that upward push. So it's not because of the tariffs, but the investment that he's going to attract into the country. And yes, I entirely agree that the China situation is a whole different bucket of fish. Um, it's the whole BRICS. Have you checked out my BRICS video? It's one of those. It's one of the videos I have on my channel. Um, it's flexing. It's a flexing of power. Hey, Augusto, how you doing? Good to see you on the session. Welcome. Okay, so President Lagarde is just President Christine Lagarde is just reading the statement and was not doing that much onto the euro dollar. I think this might play out. I think the setup that we're talking about, or I've been talking about, could play out. I'll be looking forward to that. Dollar right outside the Bollinger, saw the dot, came right back in. Again, Elite Navigator members, you have the Bollinger Band, you have the TSR MACD available to you as well. This is the impact of Christine Lagarde. Gold is down. Well, gold is down because I shouldn't do that one. Gold is down because the dollar is pushing back up very strongly, right? So doing that kind of play that we were talking about. Um, if you're looking, if this does play out, if this does play out on gold like that, then that's what you should be looking for. That it breaks this point. You got 50 there. 61. Right, I would urge that caution because it's been climbing up, so you're going counter trend. Yes, that was the rejection we were looking for. Um, the trade and the levels might be at below 33.70 to get down to 33.45, I would say. Next spike. Imagine that. Where do we have DAX again? Oh, we got a new all-time high. We have a new all-time high on the DAX because the euro dollar is coming right back down. Inverse relationship on currency and the index popping back up. 24,500 was the level. And this is biting me on the behind where I said, oh, I don't expect a huge move. It looks like it could clear 24,500. It could get to 24,651 today with the way it's doing, unless I jinxed it right now. We're not pre-committing to a particular rate path, she just said. I've, I've got her press conference going at such a low volume, I'm straining to listen to it. Yeah, try a little bit higher. EJ spiking up. So that didn't play out. Well, the next thing to look out for would be, oh no, that doesn't work. So that didn't form out. The next thing to look out for would be up here on that resistance level. Okay. Not doing that. I kind of want to see that. Euro dollar is doing that. On the hourly time frame, you can see it really hasn't done that much at all. Okay, I'm going to give it another 5 to 6 more minutes. Before I call it a night on the stream. We're going to have a look at this later on. No, I haven't checked out the video, but I'll give it a shot. You should have a look at the euro. Potential reversal at 1.14. 1.14. Most of the European unicorn located about to locate in tech value. Yeah. I agree to that. Potential reversal to 1.14. That's going to be interesting. Got my kid running around behind me. 1.14. I just realized this is just down here. Push up, head and shoulder pattern. I would love to see that play out to this point, and then break down to 1.14. That would be perfect. I don't want to see it reverse from here, because I think if it reverses from here, it's not going to be a good, not really a reversal, more like a bit of a retracement. So I kind of want to see it test and pull back. All right. It's sitting right there. A lot of dojis, a lot of uncertainty. Don't need that. President Lagarde doing her best at not exciting the markets, but it did cause that whole reversal from where we first started. Started here, pop up, back down in this 15 minutes. They're quite fixed on the 2%. I mean, it's still based on, she's still reading the statement. She's still reading a statement at this point in time. This used to be, I'm just trying to remember. Draghi used to do this. Whenever he speaks, the euro dollar would drop. Once he finished, it would just go right back up again. Ben Bernanke was the other way around. Ben Bernanke would talk up the from the U.S. FOMC would talk the dollar up, and then when he finished, he'll come right back down again. But Ben Bernanke was during the financial crisis, so he needed to prop it up a little bit. Ah, we got a couple of friends from Germany here. I'm just playing with this. I don't know if you can see it. That was from Baden-Baden. It's little tokens that I have lying around. Let's see. So, so that's from Baden-Baden. Okay. Would you hold the euro dollar through the weekend if needed? I don't hold my trades over the weekend anymore. It's too much craziness in the recent times to hold trades over the weekend. Um, Trump and the conflict, it's not worth doing that, holding that through. So I used to do it, but not anymore. Not doing anything. Just bounce back up. I want to see that play out. And it's too early to think about the weekend now. We still got Friday, we still got non-farm payrolls. All right, nothing much happening on the euro or on the dollar. DAX is pushing up. Where's the other one? Watch out for that on gold. Okay, for me, why I want it to drop is I'm actually looking at it as as it pushed up, test and reject. I want to see it drop because I want to see that buying opportunity back up. All right, I'm not so keen to try and sell it down. I'm more trend following. So I want to see that come down, test this level, and then bounce back up again. Looney might close that later on as well. Which I will close that later on at the end of this session. Pound yen is pushing back up, right in the middle. Euro yen is pushing back up, right in the middle. US yen looks like it might have further upside to come. Look at the dollar. Test and bounce. Pound dollar, a bit more to wait. Euro dollar sitting right there. So Aussie Kiwi not doing too much. Yen strength. I Let me think. Well, let me try and put it into something sensible. How do I say this? I don't see why there would be yen strength, apart from it being a move towards reserve, right? A move towards reserve because the Japanese economy, yes, it is improving. It is doing a little bit better, but it's not something to shout about, and it's not something that would have caused the yen to have sustained that good drop back down. So I think it's a bit of a move towards reserve. Again, the uncertainty. Um, for sure, there's no intervention this time round, um, as sure as I can be. Um, the unwinding kind of had its effect already. The carry trade unwinding kind of has had its effect. So I think right now it's really that move towards reserve. So you see that pop up. The yen popping up right now is because of the euro dollar, because of the dollar index popping up. But once you see the dollar index losing a bit of ground, you see the yen really magnifying that move to the downside again because of, I feel like it's because of an added move towards reserve. Again, the one fan member with the hardest questions, but I hope it makes sense. I hope it makes sense. Just based, everything is just based on things I come across and I read and my thoughts and views. So let me know if it makes sense to you as well. All right, I'm not gonna watch her President Christine Lagarde talk some more. It's not doing too much. Onto the prices. All right, if the euro dollar does break down from here, it doesn't form my head and shoulder pattern, which I'll be terribly upset about. If it does break down from here, maybe below 1.14. If it breaks below 1.14, you'll be looking at that 20 to that 35. You might even go nearer. That 15 to 40 to the downside, that kind of move. Below 1.14 there. I might be looking for that. I think, although that might be an option, I think I still want to see that fluctuate. I think this drop will be weak. I would very much prefer that kind of move. All right, first there and then there, and that kind of move would be a lot more what I think would have a better strength to the downside. So euro dollar is doing almost exactly what it did on the 17th of April. Again, thank you for joining me on this session. If you haven't already, you can help me out massively by remembering to click on that like and subscribe button. Put it into the chat or the comments what you thought of the session. You liked it, you hated it. If you liked it, tell me what can I do to make you love it. If you hated it, tell me what can I do to make you like it. I hope you trade well. I hope you trade safe. For everyone, we will have our live stream tomorrow for the 3 p.m. And also, fingers crossed, I'm feeling it a little bit already, but fingers crossed, if I feel okay and reasonable, we will also still have our non-farm employment change live stream tomorrow at 8 p.m. GMT plus 8. But if I'm out of it, then unfortunately that will be an early end to the week. Thank you all so much. Thanks, Angel Case. Thanks, Jimmy. Thanks, Diana. Appreciate that so much. Appreciate you guys and massively. Thanks for joining me on this session. Take care now. Trade well, trade safe. Don't go crazy. The euro dollar is still pushing slightly to the upside. I want to see that inverted head and shoulder. But yeah, let me know. Thanks, John. Take care. I can't remember what else I need to press here. Take care now.